Welcome to this YouTube channel. Today we are gonna look at how to use templates in Google Sheets. We have done that. We are going to play around with the totals and see how we make them dynamic, such that when you add items to the templates that we are using, the total does not formula in calculating the totals, and multiplication does not get affected. So to get started, I go to my drive, right click, then from template, select from template. Then I'm going to look for a template to demonstrate what I'm saying. And I think I'm going to go with the purchase order. So I click on the purchase order, and there we go. Here is our purchase order. We need to, so it has the headers here. And if you want to change this, you can come and customize, put your company name there. This is the heading of the purchase order. Then the vendor and the shipping details, your number are all up there. And you should always enter an item here, if at all you want to use it. So say this is C, then with the item C, maybe these are 3 and each of them is 250. So you can see it computes and gets a total here, adds, gets a total, add in shipping, apply a tax rate on the subtotal, this total, then you get the sales tax, add all that, get your total value of the purchase order. So the way it is right now is if I came on top here and I added a row, let's see whether it is gonna work. So I select maybe item A, code for item A. I put in the price. You can see the multiplication does not work. Assuming it worked, will this total work? The total will also not work because it's to 28. So if I put total of the 2, you can see that is not part of this. So if I add items on the top, the whole thing breaks down and does not work. If I add below here and I add an item here, there are 5 of them. Again, you see the computation does not work, and that's a problem for me. If I put the total, somehow the total works, which is fine, but the top here does not work. In the middle, I believe that one will work as well. So our issue in this video is how do we solve this problem so that if I add my total on the top or bottom or middle, I still get my formulas working. Before I go into details, I'm going to demonstrate what I'm doing on the side right here so that we move step by step, we understand what we are trying to achieve. Again, if I want to get this multiplication, first of all, I can say these items here, I put them in brackets, then I multiply that with the items right here, also in brackets, like so. No. So you can see that. If I enclose them in an array formula, you can see that works. Single formula here, and it works. If I delete, everything goes away. Then if I undo, you can see that it works here. So that is all well and good, but again, this is not dynamic, and what we need to do is make it dynamic. Now, to make our formula dynamic, we need to use the offset function. And the way the offset works is, for example, let me first add a couple of columns here. The way offset works is come here and say offset. The question will be, where do I start? Because I want to multiply quantity, maybe I start on this cell here. Now, the figures I'm going to multiply are one down. So I move one row down. I stay in the same column, so column is 0. So that one will take me to the starting point. And if I press enter, you can see it returns 4. But if you look at the details of this formula, you will observe that it returns a reference for this cell. Remember, in this first formula here, all I did was F27 to F37. And I can get this F27 through the use of the offset function right here. So this one is as good as my F27. So I can copy that and I put it where there's F27, I put there my offset function. And when I highlight, you can see that it's still working fine. Now, F37 is right here. Before I use this, I need to remove the unmerged cells. So I have my subtotal here. So to get F37, I can use the offset function again. I say offset, comma. My starting position is gonna be cell F38. Now, because I'm going backwards, I go -1, then I stay in the same column. I press enter. So you can see my formula is still working fine. Next is to get the offset for G27, and I want to start from this cell. And the reason I start from this cell is because when I add a row, this cell will remain, it will not change. So FG37 can be got by saying offset. I start from the header here, comma, to start the range from 300 here, I need to go one position down and 0 position. I'm not changing the column, so I say 0. I press enter. You can see the formula is still okay. Then my G37, this one here, I can use this F, then I move 1, 2 steps on the column side. So let's go there. Then I say offset. I'm going to start in this cell here. In terms of row, I need to move a row backwards. So I say -1. Then I'm in F37. But if I want to go to G37, so that I pick the whole range here, I'll need to go +1 in the column side. Press enter. You can see that my formula is still working fine. Now, if I inserted a row on top here, let me show you something. If I inserted the row on top here, you see that my formula gets disorganized, goes down one step. Let's say Control Z. I need to put formula in this cell H26. So I'm gonna copy this, hit escape. Now I also need to indicate the total price. So I'm going to say equals, open curly braces, close them. I want my formula to start from the next row. So I put a semicolon there. Then I paste my formula there. Press enter. I get an error. My error is because I think I need to put the total price in quotes. That because if you hover over here, you can see it gives you an indication of what the error is. It says the array result was not expanded because it would override data in H27 here. So this one is an expanding field. It cannot expand to populate the values down here because there are already values in here. So all we have to do is to remove these values, and there you go. And there I don't need all this. And now we have a dynamic formula. I need to work on my total here. You can see it starts right here. But before I do that, I need to know that I need to confirm that my multiplication is okay. So when you see this, there's no formula in this row here. So let's test again. Let's add a row on top. I'm going to call this item B number. So I put 5 there. And I put a price of 120. There you go. You can see the multiplication working fine. Before this one was not working, it would organize the formula. The next thing I need to work on is this total here. You can see when I click on the total, it shows me it is running from row 29 to row 38. And this is because I added 2 new rows up here. So what I want to happen is that add rows on the top, my formula should continue working. And to do this, we need to make these references dynamic. And to do that, we need to use the offset function to achieve that objective. So let's see how we go about this. Now in here, we have H27. So instead of H27, we're going to use H26 in the offset formula, and we move one step down. So I'll remove H29, and in that place, I'll put the offset function, which returns a reference. My reference cell is this one where I start, comma, because I want to add starting from a row 27, I need to move a row down. So row-wise, go one step. I don't want to move the column, so I'll stay in the same column, and I put there a 0. So that caters for to give me this reference to this cell. Then the reference for the last cell here, I'm going to use, I can either use this or this cell itself. So let's use this cell itself. So I'm going to say offset. I start from this cell which itself where I am currently, which is H39. I say H39. I say comma. The row, I'm not moving a row and I'm not moving any column because no, I need to move a row backwards by -1 because I want to add up to row 38. Currently, I'm in row 39. So I need to move backwards. And when you're moving backwards, you move -1. So I put -1 and then a 0 because I'm not changing column. So I close my offset function, then I close my sum if function, and I get my total there. So when you do that, it will be adding all these values. As you can see right there, the total is that. So let's check it when I add a row on top here and I put in item A. This is maybe 3. Maybe this is 300. Watch this total. Watch this cell here. You will see that the total changes. There you go. This total changes, meaning that my formula is dynamic. So whatever rows I add on top or bottom here, my formula will continue working fine. So let's try the bottom and say this, maybe this. There you go. This one works and this one works as well. So this way I've made my formula dynamic. So irrespective of the fact that you can add rows on top or rows down, my formula does not continues to work, and which is a very good thing because if you have a template, you need to have your formulas work. If they don't work, you could send a wrong invoice or purchase order to your suppliers, and that will not be good. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Like the video, give me your comments, and see you in the next video. Don't forget to hit the notification button to be more alerted for more videos like this one. Have a great day.